Good evening and welcome to Southbridge Business Partnership meeting tonight. And what did everybody think about the wells? This is pretty cool, huh? It's beautiful and it's neat to see the facility. I mean, I haven't been in it, well, actually since the kids were in basketball here on this floor. And so that's probably at least 15 or 20 years ago. So. And then, I don't know, I went to school here in the early 70s, so a lot has changed. So tonight, we've got basically two people that are going to be speaking. Actually, Elvis doesn't know that he's on the docket, but it's the Elvis and Lisa are going to talk about Autumn Fest. Elvis is number one, Lisa's number two. But first off, we want to talk about a new project that's going on in town, and which is Project Bridge Fridge, and Carla is going to speak about it. And she has a little PowerPoint presentation which I actually had to change and turn into pictures, so so that it'll play on the TV. So we've got that all set up for you and ready to go.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carla de la Cruz Davila. Jasenia couldn't be here today, but she's my partner in all of this. The Wellstorm was established in 2021. We're a nonprofit organization that has just started. Our main focus is, like it says here, is mental health, food insecurity, and homelessness. Our first project is the Bridge Fridge, which is a community fridge that's pretty much outside. We built, finally, you can leave it right there, that's good. We started building it like right here. This is how it first started. And towards the end, I'll show you what it looks like at the end. We finally just got our permit from the Board of Health. We're actually working with RMG, with Sarai actually, to establish a grand opening. Once it's open, we're gonna be needing partners like you all here to help us with getting food in the fridge, getting volunteers out there, because we do want to have volunteers during the day and evening just to check on the fridge, make sure everything's organized, make sure there's no expired items because we can't have any expired items. And just to give you a little bit of how we started this, first you have to build a team of individuals, which right now is just me and Jasenia, but you know, it's a work in progress. We had to find a location. Thankfully, Sarai from RNG, she has worked with the Worcester Community Fridges in Worcester, so this is not something that's new. Worcester has about 6, Boston has several, and they're all over the world. And so we found our location. They were gracious enough to have us build this enclosure there. We actually got a fridge donated by one of our friends from Worcester that actually is one of the volunteers of the Worcester Community Fridges, so we're very thankful for her. We ended up buying an upright freezer as well, just because in Worcester they said that they've received a lot of overwhelming donations and didn't have enough space, so we ended up getting a upright freezer, a fridge, and we have a pantry area. And we're also, the only difference between the Worcester fridges and us is that we're gonna have dog and cat food, because as you know, if we're struggling with food, then our pets will also be struggling with food. So we're gonna be providing that, and that's something different. So far, the total cost that we've had to endure was over $9,000 just to get this up and running. Carpentry, electrician, pretty much a lot of different things. We also had a mural done on the fridge. Well, not the fridge, I'm sorry, the enclosure. But if you look at other fridges in Worcester, they usually do decorations on the actual fridge. We decided to close ours just because we wanted to make sure that it was fully insulated because of summer and because of winter. We didn't want rain or anything to be going inside of the enclosure, so we made it with doors. So electricity is about $50 per month, which the wonderful hosts of RMG are going to be paying for. But funding usually comes from the community, local businesses, entrepreneurs, and for ourselves. Jasenia and I have been put a lot of money towards it, but that's just me letting you guys know, like, we want this, so we're going out of our own pockets and also making this happen. And of course, making it safe, making sure that we talk to the Board of Health, making sure we go by all the regulations that we needed to, and making sure that it's available to all of us, Okay. So these are the food guidelines. We accept all produce, unopened frozen foods, breads, pastry, prepackaged meals, pantry staples like bread, sugar, flour. Things we don't accept currently, maybe it'll change, I don't know. Raw meats, items in glass jars, homemade meals, expired items, and we always say anything that you wouldn't feed your own family. Next, please. So what can you do to help? Start a fundraiser within your own company, start a food drive. One thing we did while the enclosure was getting built, we had several food drives that actually David was there for one of ours. Senator Fatman was there as well. And we had over 30,000 pounds of food that we distributed out to the community within the year. So we kept doing things like that just to make sure that we're doing something while the enclosure was getting built. Sending us gift cards to like Big Y, Big Bunny, grocery stores, make sure to share our pages, share our fundraising pages, make a monthly subscription. These are our two platforms right now, PayPal and Venmo. But yeah, so anything. We also had like a challenge that we did that you could do as well. We did like an elliptical challenge for every 30 minutes. People donated money towards it, and that way you can stay healthy, and at the same time we're getting money towards the fridge. So this is what it currently looks like right now. Our local artist from Worcester actually was gracious enough to do this. She provided all the paint. She was wonderful. But the location is the Renaissance Medical Group, 11 Saundersdale Road in Southbridge. This is our phone number, and we have social media on Facebook and on Instagram at the Wellstorm Inc. And our grand opening is going to be early 2022. And we'll go from there. But does anyone have questions?
I just want to mention that one of the things we've also, in the Worcester County, we've also opened in Shrewsbury and in Northborough. So part of this community fridge that's happening all over the country and all over the world is to really remove the stigma of food insecurity. And there's been really, really great buy-in throughout the community. And it's kind of been something that I've seen in Worcester that's really brought people from all different kind of like communities, cultures, belief, political background. Like I found that when it came to this, like we've seen a lot of people just work really good collaboratively together regardless. And people really have taken care of the fridge. Food comes in, food comes out. There's an advantage. I mean, you all, to my understanding, you all can have chickens here. So like even just like looking at if you grow things in your house, you can put the fresh produce or putting eggs in, say if you have extra eggs. And a lot of times, like, so when someone fills the fridge, it'll be like, oh, the fridge on Portland Street just got, from fresh produce, and it goes on and people know. And it just kind of goes back to the concept of like, remember, like if you had an apple tree and and you picked, or tomatoes, like I remember growing up, like if our neighbor had extra tomatoes, they'd bring some over, and it's kind of on that concept that, so if I went to the fridge and I brought some bags of salad and I saw that there was a nice cucumber, I'm like, oh, that was good that I can grab it, even though I'm not like it, in just relieving that kind of stigma, but also just about concept of sharing and us in community. And like I said, I think one of the things that I really could appreciate happening in Worcester County has been that it's really has brought people from different backgrounds and communities together to work collaboratively.
Food is a necessity for everybody. So I mean, it's one of those things where we all need food, and it's it's something that everybody realizes, and it's something that's easy to help, and definitely somebody that something that you want to support. So
If I could say something, okay, I don't need it. So Southbridge Community Television did an interview right at the Bridge Fridge. So there's a lot of great information. Both Yesenia and Carla were there and really gave a full lowdown on all the aspects, and the 24/7 availability, not like your standard food pantries that are only open a few hours a week. A big shout out to the people who are providing the dog food and the cat food, which is Here Today, Adopted Tomorrow in Brimfield is the one who's supporting the animals because they want to eat too, which was really cool. But mainly that whole food insecurities and that it's a 24/7 operation. So it's the kind of thing, as you explained to us, that people can access and people can be a part of, whether they need the food or not, as Sarai was saying. So anyway, and second locations, hopefully third locations possible. The sky's the limit here locally. We've got people that are happy about that. So anyway, this is a great thing. And go to Southbridge Community Television and take a look at the interview we did, and you'll get a lot more impact on how this Bridge Fridge is going to make a difference here in Southbridge and in the community.
One of the advantages, if eventually, which I'm hopeful that if a business kind of opens, like for example, one of the businesses was a pizzeria that hosted, the electricity is not big, it's not nearly as big as this, but it was one of our first. And what's great is that because none of the food can be put in there unless it's through a commercial kitchen. So like people can order and say, hey, can I just purchase 5 subs, and can you put them in, and then people put the announcements, hey, 5, it's different subs, but also that business gets promoted. And what we found is, especially during the pandemic, was that business, because of what that business did to put that community fridge, people purposely began to support that business. And it was a small mom and pop like pizzeria that had been there for a long time and was struggling because they're near like a college campus, and they had gone, and it really helped to help that business. They gave with their fridge electricity, but then the community ended up giving back. So that's one of the advantages of taking a look at one of the businesses that may want to do that. It is a good promotion for that business.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, are you able to shop at the Worcester County Food Bank for the fridge?
So I guess they already deliver to local food pantries here. So because of that reason, they can't personally give it to us. So the way we would work is we would have to go to the local food pantries here and say, hey, if you have any leftovers, can you give it to us? But I guess because they already have a contract with them, they couldn't do it.
I had hoped that had changed. And so anybody can just come to the fridge and put stuff in?
Yeah.
And anybody can come at any time and take it out. So there's no time limitations.
But you have to follow the rules that are posted. There were a lot of rules posted. They've done a great job with notifications as to what you can and cannot put in, or what you should or should not put in. I mean, obviously that's the main focus, is to make sure that people are doing it according to the directions that they've instilled to be safe.
One of the advantages of this versus a food pantry is that what we find is in many of these fridges, people are putting fresh produce, which can be very costly and expensive and inaccessible to people as we're struggling with the food deserts. And also, here is an issue, well, hopefully that's going to change, but actually being able to put in like meat, fresh meat that's like from a supermarket or something that people can get, that's sometimes costly as well. Thank you.
Real quick, first of all, Carla, thank you so much. I don't know if you know this, I met Carla last year, and she is also joining the Cultural Commission. So she's also giving back to the community, so we really appreciate that. I know it's been back and forth with the town, and we do appreciate you sticking with it all the way through. Question, I think it's a security issue more so than anything, because do you guys have cameras in the local area? Is that what you brought up?
So we do have cameras inside of the enclosures, so we could see like hands and see what's going on, and that was something that the board wanted us to do, just to make sure that nobody's messing with the food.
Right. And also, I just wanted to give note, and I think Councilor Reed was brought it up the other day about was the Worcester Business Journal. She's one of the county 40 20 under 40 or something like that,
Yeah,
so
20 under 40.
we have the diamond right here, so thank you.
Good. I want to piggyback on what you said though, towards the cameras. This was something that is not required in the other locations, that there are food fridges, and there are food fridges. And so that is something that the Board of Health or the Department of Health is working on, trying to decipher some of the logic and logistics that they're imposing on this particular entity as opposed to the rest of Massachusetts and beyond. So there are some things to work on so that, obviously security is important, but this is not something new. And I've advocated to the Department of Health, as I'm sure others have, yourselves included, that they need to not just look at the federal guidelines, but to consider just the state or what are the local guidelines which don't exist. So therein being, something that should be worked on in order to perpetuate this program other locations and make it easier for people to access the food. I mean, if you're afraid to eat the food, don't eat the food. Nobody's making you take food. So, just say. But anyway, I just wanted that to, because that's really important, I think, that the town get on board a little bit more and understand what goes on in the rest of Massachusetts and how can we mimic their policies and procedures and make it safe, obviously, for our people. So safety is important.
Where did you say you were located at?
The RNG, Renaissance Medical Group, they're across from the restaurant.
Golden Greek, across from the Golden Greek, yeah.
So we've been really super committed to food insecurity and our different options. So when this came out, like people, like I'm from Worcester, people have been very active with community fridges in Worcester. And when the concept of people wanting to Southbridge, they connected us together. And in my CEO, Mr. Suarez was definitely super open to it. So we decided to give up parking space. And it was great because we did the storage and the food distribution activities. We did a lot of RNG as well.
You had mentioned homelessness.
Yeah.
You also help with that?
So our first program that we're focusing right now is on that, and then we're going to move on to the other programs that we're thinking about doing. But again, we're so small, so we need more board members, we need to expand. But right now, our first project is the fridges. But eventually, we're going to.
Are the local businesses and grocery stores assisting you in helping out with any donations?
So
at this
far,
point?
we've had 2 that have given us gift cards, so we're just holding on to the gift cards until we open, so that way we could bring in some food in there. Yeah.
In terms of your kind of vision or your strategy, how many fridges would you like to see in Southbridge?
At least 2 or 3, just because where we're at right now is on the opposite end. I would think, I wish we could do something in Main Street or even near Big Bunny area. But I also want to go into Dudley, Webster, the smaller areas. I want to create what Worcester's pretty much creating in all the different areas within Worcester. That's why there's so many over there, because they try to capture a little bit of everywhere within Worcester, and that's what we're trying to do. But over here.
All right. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just curious, because you started this on your own for here, but why didn't you just affiliate yourself to the Worcester Bridge Fridge, or Fridges, or whatever? Is it called the Worcester?
It's the Wolf Bridges, but
Wolf
Worcester
Bridges.
Community
Yeah.
Bridges. They wanted to just do Worcester, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in a way it is. My involvement is you kind of it's kind of the best of both, because I am very much involved in Worcester in the community fridge, and then because I work so much here in Southbridge with Renaissance Medical Group, that it kind of merged together. And there has been support regarding regulations and even assistance with donations or direction for donations that we have. It is kind of a community really having.
My thought on this purely is financial, is because they're an established nonprofit in Worcester, and if you have affiliated yourself with them,
They're not enough.
they're not.
No, they're not. We are, but they're not.
How are they run then?
And let me tell you, it is community. There's a
Really? So they're not an established anything?
No, it's actually just a group of volunteers, just as much like her, and then.
Yeah, they work with us.
And really happy.
Right, well, no, that's right. So being from United Way, I would love to talk to you after this.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And you have community leaders. We had former state rep that opened one of the fridges and helped to one of the, it's had really big community buy-in.
And we've been working with them. So they're the ones that actually was like, I was like, oh, I want to go in my community. She's like, okay, go ahead, do it. You take care of it.
And you know, with the backpack brigade down in Webster, have you had any affiliation to that? Okay. What's up?
Okay. Sounds good.
That'd be great.
All right. Thank you very much, Carla. All right. All right, Elvis, I'm going to bring you up here in front of the camera. So at this point, we're in the last stages of Autumn Fest, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Elvis and let him talk about it.
Hi there. How's everybody doing? First, most of you probably know about Autumn Fest. Most of you are probably somehow participating in it. To our sponsors, SHOT, and all the big sponsors and the little sponsors like me. We'd like to say thank you. We did wonderful this year, and we're going to have a great event. Everything's pretty much all tied up and ready to go. We're just finishing up some loose ends, and there's not many, and I think we're ready to rock and roll. It's going to be the third Saturday of September. Everybody should be there. Promote it to your staff if you have a company and you have employees. Promote it to everybody around you. We got two great bands that are going to play. There's going to be events all day, vendors all day, food all day, and I think we're pretty much ready to go.
Free children's games.
We're going to have raffles, by the way, for anybody here who's not a sponsor.
Anybody would like to donate something to our raffle table, we would love to have it.
And on a bigger basis, if you're not a sponsor and want to be a sponsor, you're still welcome to be a sponsor. We still have a month left to go. For the partner tables, most of you have heard, we've reached out about the partner tables. Thank you all for responding. If you are a partner and you want a table, you should reach out to Lisa or Alex. Okay? And anything else? I think that's pretty much it, yeah? We have the raffles. We want everybody to consider a donation to Darlene. I mean to Darlene's raffle table.
Also, we're doing a lottery raffle, $500 worth of lottery tickets. I do have tickets tonight because we're limiting it to 200 tickets, so they're going to go fast. So what can I say? So I have them in my little carry-on. If anybody would like to make sure that they get one, $10, $500 worth of lottery tickets. I was in this building for 30 plus years and I sold everything, right? Between the orange sales, the grapefruit sales, cookbooks, everything, we did it all, so.
And I will tell you, last year at the event, they sold out pretty quick. So if you want to be a part of that, it's $10 a person.
1 in 200 instead of 1 in millions.
Great odds, right?
Yes, great odds.
And the donations for the raffle table. We already have a goodly amount, but it would be nice. It's always nice to have a little extra. And what most of you don't know, if you're not a part of the board and haven't been a part of Autumn Fest this year, that's a hint to everybody to be a part next year. Help us out. And I kind of pushed hard last year about this. I like to see at the end when we have those profits, and we're a nonprofit too, so we can't end with a profit, is to give it away to nonprofits, give it away to opportunity. So if you've ever wondered why I work so hard through all this, it's because I know the end result is donating to the cause. Most don't know this about me. I'm big about feeding the people. Can't really do it if they're all hungry. I'm big about educating people. Can't really do it if they don't know what's going on, right? So I have always seen this as an opportunity. It's why I've been so aggressively working with the Autumn Fest through the years, as to really give back to the community. It's the biggest event right now. I have plans, and hopefully you guys can all become part of committees, for us to do other events during the year to give back to Cops and Kids, give back to the library. That's really what it's about. For me, it's always been about that. And that's about it. So make sure you show up to Autumn Fest. No excuses, Bob. and have a good time, and tell everybody. By the way, Center of Hope, by the way, is donating a lot of awesome things, and one of them is going to be parking, moving people from the center down to the event. We're also going to have parking with the hotel. So it's actually been a great event. And this year, I got to tell you, we were a little concerned because last year we had a generous donation from the town, and we more than made it up this year because of the partners and the businesses in this town. Some of you may or may not know about Telegram Gazette Best of 2022. This has nothing to do with me and what we did. But Autumn Fest made it as one of the best events in the area. So hopefully you guys had an opportunity to vote. And it would be awesome if Autumn Fest wins, everyone's going to pay attention. Everyone's going to be like, what's this? And next year, rather than the 3,000 to 5,000 we had last year, and 4,000 or 5,000, depending on whether I'm expecting this year, we may go higher. We may need more police. Thank you, everybody.
For the record, Southbridge Community Television will be there.
Yeah, that's you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, Southbridge Community TV's got a table. They'll be doing interviews, so they are part of the programming.
Like we did last year, real quick.
David asked to speak quickly on the Veterans Council, so I'm going to give him the mic.
Bunch of time real quick with absolute back there, if you don't mind. There you go. So what I have here is our.
Oh, I got it. So just real quick, we gave out the coins there. We talked about the fundraiser for the coins, but I just want to let you know that we have the final design for Elm Street, the World War Memorial Park. I say final design, but more of a conceptual design because the architect forgot one monument that we're putting in there as well. And so if everything goes well on September 12th, we should be starting the work very soon after there to get this all completed by hopefully next summer. Obviously, there'll be some small things here and there that we have to tweak. But if you notice that we have the neighborhood monuments in there, that'll be moved over. We have areas for solar lighting. We do sign over there, QR readers that we'll be placing in front of them. If we also receive the grant that we're expecting to receive here in February, we'll be able to do all the monuments on a grant as well. So we've raised enough funds to actually do this entire project at this one park. So it's really good. I appreciate the community that really has reached out and helped us out quite a bit. But I just wanted to hand that over. I'll be working with the cable access here very soon to try to update everybody. So I just appreciate you guys' time and your energy, and thanks for all the donations.
All right. Thank you very much, Dave.
Designs.
All right, and a final thing, I've got information from RMG. They're holding a car and bike show mashup on August 27th at the RMG facility. So I'm going to hand these out. So if you know anybody that's interested in showing off their car or bike, they're welcome to come down, and you're invited to attend for free. So it's looks like a fun event. So
there's a registration for the cars and the bikes. It's actually that's a typo. It's the cent is really funny, and then all the profits made actually gets donated to. But we're actually in collaboration with an organization, and we're supplying the space, and we've been doing some of the media support. But they're an organization of local people actually. They're from Southbridge. We lost them from Worcester to Southbridge. All got some really good people here. And they've done some really good shows in Worcester. They're very organized, and it's been really successful in Worcester, so they'll be doing it here. We'll have some nice cars, even a Ferrari out there.
yeah.
To either this event or future events, let some of the people locally who have nice cars.
Yeah, it's open to whoever. It's open anyone who wants. Yeah, there's a register. It's open to whoever wants to register their car to show their car off. So that's been open. They contact Javon, who's been the organizer.
Do we have a copy in my store? Because I know probably 5-10 of my Southbridge customers who have nice vehicles who love them.
Yeah.
I'll put this up in the store.
Yeah. A lot of them come from all over, and come in. So it's whoever wants to show off their bike or their car.
Excellent.
Some things like that. This says 10, but it's a typo. It's accident with 20. It's $20. It's free to go in. It's $20 to register the car. They said it gets donated.
To the trust.
Yeah, it goes to cover the cost, like,
All right, and the Ox Trot 5K. Oh, okay. The Old Sturbridge Village Academy is doing their 5K run, and that is on October 1st. So, and registration at oxtrot5k.com. So,
So this year we have a new, we've added an inclusive event for students who can't do the walk or have limited, ability to participate. So we're doing an inclusive, fun non-run that students will get a wind-up toy, and that'll be sort of like a race with the wind-up toys.
all right. So,
Bring the whole family. And we are still looking for sponsors. I know there are some businesses here who have sponsored the event in the past. Things for the swag bags that are being provided by Big Bunny.
Right.
Yeah. So anything.
Nothing comes after me every year. So, but we trade off is what it comes down to. So, anyway, so yep, that's coming up October 1st. Any other announcements or information? Oops, wow, look at the hands go up.
You've done it now.
Yeah, no, I did.
You opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Alicia from Katie Book Cannabis. We, in June, hosted an adoption event with Second Chance Animal Services. We're doing it again September 10th, which is a Saturday. We're going to have some, like a local spray paint artist doing live art. We'll have some cannabis-related pop-ups. Johnny Hot Dogs is going to be there as well. And then we'll have the mobile adoption event with Second Chance. We're also collecting any monetary and physical donations at the store for that. This is from 11 to 6, and the adoption event itself, if you want a puppy or a kitty, is from 1 to 3.
All right. Wonderful. And then I know Cindy's got a large event coming up, so I'm going to hand over the mic.
That's because you got your personal invitation. We have our 65th anniversary gala on September 15th. It's a Thursday night. It's at the barn at White Farm, and we have comedians coming. That's something new for us. We're trying to liven it up a little, and we hope that you have the time to come and join us on the 15th. Thanks.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Mary.
I don't have anything to pass out today, but I just wanted to let everybody know that the United Way Pub Quiz is going to be taking place, and it's on October 21st. It is an annual event. Everybody loves it. It's teams of 4. We're going to be holding it at the Southbridge Hotel and Conference Center, and it is being merged with our campaign kickoff for our 2022 campaign. So you have a choice of going to the dinner for the kickoff and just do pub quiz, or both, and have a fun night. And we have a DJ, and we have actual trophies this year. So we're really looking forward to having people join us, and registration will open September 1st.
When is it?
October 21st.
Friday night.
Yep. All right, be there or be square. Is that what it is, right? The next business partnership meeting is going to be on September 28th. It will be held at the Southbridge Airport. All members or partners are invited to attend. Again, this is sort of the kickoff of the airport, and they've put a new runway in up there. The government spent, I think, $7 million on our facility. The facility is a new facility that's only 4 years old at this point, and there's a new restaurant that I don't know when they're coming online. What is it? Labor Day. So new restaurant coming online Labor Day, and okay, and so hopefully we can get them to participate with the event. So. Anything else? Yep.
I forgot, for Gateway players, on the 24th of September, we're going to have a Veterans of Oak Ridge tribute. So they're actually going to be reading stories of veterans that from the Revolutionary to Civil War onward. So That's a 3 plot right over the cemetery. Thank you.
Okay, and that's it.